Hello there. I wanted to take a couple more minutes to talk about the Verso 1.0 soundboard from the Saber Armory. I kind of feel like in my last video when I mentioned it, I sort of just kind of did a quick, hey, this is a Verso sound card. Hey, we got smooth swing. Great, let's look at the LED. And I just wanted to talk about the Verso a little bit more. As you may already know from my previous video, I recently installed it in my MHS Obi-Wan Kenobi Saber. And I don't really feel like I can give the Verso a full review, a fair full review, because I'm only using a single color LED in here, a blue, royal blue, for a nice medium blue, bright medium blue effect. Now the sound card itself, it sounds great. I've actually tried a couple of different sound fonts in it. All of them are from Kyberphonic. I currently have OB4 installed. I've also tried it out with the Battle sound font, which is the Battlefront 2 base sound font, and I've also tried the Outcast sound font in it, which sounds really good in this. The card itself is... I haven't actually broken it out with one of my old Nano Biscottis to kind of compare the size, but I kind of feel like it's a little bit smaller than a Nano Biscotti. You've got your SD card slot on the top of the board, or actually the bottom, depending on which way you put it. And one thing I really like about it is that the soldering points for the LEDs, let me see if I can get zoomed in and focused on this real good here, are actually really nice and big. In fact, after working with the Crystal Focus 10 cards, I almost felt like these were too big. One thing that you may want to know before using one of these do only support a single sound font, and the file structure on these is very different compared to the Crystal Focus 10. It doesn't have multiple folders inside of it like the Crystal Focus 10 does. You basically have your sound fonts, a couple of sounds that are necessary for the operation of the card, and then the configuration files. And that's where I kind of ran into a little bit of difficulty with this, but there's the KR Sabers Verso support group on Facebook, and pretty much if you have any questions as far as the configuration, the answers are probably already there. I really do like this sound card. It's a great one-button solution, and at the price point, it's a fantastic option for upgrading older Sabers. I actually do have a couple of candidates here that I've been thinking about doing a Verso upgrade in. I've got my Graflex CE from Ultra Sabers. It currently has a diamond controller in it. With this Saber, I always liked the Saber a lot. But one thing that I always found is that in the 2.5 years that I've had this, for a long period of time, I was constantly just getting new sound fonts off of saberfonts.com and trying new Graflex-based fonts because the sound was just never right with it. And in all reality, what I was looking for was smooth swing. That fixed everything. And just about every smooth swing font that I've tried with the different Crystal Focus Sabers that I've got and the Verso Saber that I have been perfect. So that's, right there. That's one thing that actually makes this a great candidate for a Verso upgrade, is because I'll still have my color changing ability with it. I'll only need one sound font once I find the right one for it, and I already pretty much have that in mind, which is the Hero sound font from Kyberphonic. It's based off of the Clone Wars era lightsaber sounds, and it actually even has, an Anakin pieces in it for it. The only thing that I'm actually going to be holding off on upgrading this for is that I've actually been looking for a parts-only damaged, not working Anakin Skywalker Master Replica's Force Effects Saber from 2005. If I can get one for what I feel is a reasonable price, I would rather do a conversion on that than upgrade this one, because this is not as screen accurate. It's a nice saber, but I'm ready to move on. Another good option is the shock that I installed a Nano Biscotti on earlier this year. And what I'd really like to do with this is, again, The Verso is a great single button option. And what I would like to do with this is make it NeoPixel. The only thing that's holding me back is the 1.24 inch inner diameter of the main body, which is where I would want to put the hilt side PCB. I haven't found a PCB holder that's actually big enough to do that without rigging something up like I did with this LED holder. And there goes the emitter. This LED holder, where I put the O-rings around it to hold it in place. The hilt side PCB is actually a lot more important to keep that steady and sturdy. So I'm not really sure if that particular method that I used is going to work right with it. So I'm thinking that I may upgrade this to the Verso and just keep it with the 3-color LED, or possibly just start a new one entirely from scratch with similar parts. Same pommel from Custom Saber Shop, a 4-inch extension, another 4-inch extension, and then a similar emitter that'll give me that same blade depth as the shock emitter does. Ultimately, what I want to do is I do want to do another Verso install with at least the 3-color LED, and I also want to get one installed with the KR Pixel Stick for a NeoPixel saber, because I think that's just going to work beautifully together. Oops, don't want to drop that. I do currently have 2 more cards, and depending on what my plans wind up being, I'll get some more. But yeah, it is a great card, and at its price point, it's fantastic for upgrading and breathing new life into those older sabers. Alright, well that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, leave a comment, let me know what you thought, and as always, may the Force be with you.